Hey guys, Alex and Ryan here from Raw Mobile. Today we are taking an initial look at the Moto G5 Plus. We're going to cover all the specs and everything that you need to know about it for now before we do our full in-depth review coming at the end of this week. Alright guys, so this is the Moto G5 Plus. This was released in April of this year. And let's talk a little bit about the build quality first here and pricing. So what options do people have for pricing, Ryan?
So you can either get the 64 gigabyte option with 4 gigs of RAM for $300 or $240 on Amazon if you want the Amazon ad version. Or you can get the 32 gigabyte of memory with 2 gigs of RAM, which is the version we have here right now. And that's going to cost you about $230 or $185 off Amazon with the ads included.
So if you don't mind Amazon ads, there are a couple of cheap ways to get a hold of this phone. Starting out with the build quality of the phone, it is a metal and plastic body. So the weight on it's about 155 grams. So probably somewhere in the middle if you compare it to other smartphones weight-wise. And width, it's about 7.7 millimeters thick. So you can kind of compare it to my hand there. And we also have here a Moto G4 Plus, just to kind of give you a little size comparison there. So they're similar. This one does appear to be just a little bit thinner, but it actually feels a little bit heavier, which I didn't mind actually. I kind of like the feeling of a heavy phone that feels a little bit more substantial in your hand. Corning Gorilla Glass 3 on the screen. As for the actual screen size, we have a 5.2-inch display, 1920 by 1080 resolution, and that gives you a 424 ppi, which is actually a little bit higher, again, than the Moto G4 Plus. Because it's a smaller screen and has the same resolution. You have your fingerprint scanner on the front, flash on the back, front and rear facing cameras, no flash on the front of course, and then on the side of course you have your volume rockers and you have your home button there. So as for the processor, Android 7.0 Nougat of course that's running. We have an octa-core Qualcomm Snapdragon 625 processor, and of course we mentioned before to you guys this is the 2 gigabytes of RAM version. You can also get a CDMA or a GSM version of this phone, so this will work on any carrier depending on your needs. Here built in storage wise, we have a 32 gigabyte version here like we mentioned, and again if you get the higher version you'll be looking at 64 gigabytes, and it is expandable with microSD up to 256 gigabytes. The actual operating system and the camera, Ryan can tell us more about that as well.
Okay, so looking at this with Android Nougat pre-installed from the get-go, you're going to have a very smooth interface, and Motorola is known for that. There's not a ton of bloatware. You're not getting a crazy skin on Android. Really smooth. Again, the Snapdragon 625 coupled with Android Nougat, this phone feels...
I love it. I love that.
Thank you, Alex. Yes, I mean, some of the things it just comes with, like the twist gesture ring with the camera. Once you start using it, it's kind of hard to not have it on other phones. So it's little things that really make a big difference, I think, with Motorola and the interface that they use. Also, taking a look at the camera. So there is a change for the Moto G4 Plus. We had a 16 megapixel camera on here with laser autofocus. This one is going to come with a 12 megapixel camera, f1.7 aperture, and it has dual autofocus pixels. So similar camera to the Galaxy S7. I'm not going to say similar quality, but similar camera. So we'll take a look though. We'll take some pictures for you guys, get the photo samples. One nice thing, upgrade over the Moto G4 Plus with the camera as we bring this up. So first of all, if you want to take full res pictures, you're going to do 4.3 aspect ratio as most phones like to do. 12 megapixels. It is lower than the 16 megapixel on G4 Plus, but that doesn't mean it's worse. We're gonna do side-by-side comparisons though. We'll let you guys see. But the nice addition over the G4 Plus is the 4K Ultra HD video recording, which is great on a budget phone for this price range. So we'll get you some video samples of that. We'll take it in some different environments, let you see. Also, another thing it has that the G4 Plus didn't have was full HD 1080p at 60 frames per second, where this one, the G4 Plus, was capped off at 30 frames per second. So like I said, we'll get into the photo samples, video samples for you guys. We're going to do a head-to-head against the G4 Plus to let you guys see how that looks. Initially, though, like I said, having the dual autofocus pixels, I'm going to be honest, the focusing definitely seems quicker on this one than on the on the older model. So we'll take a look at that for you guys. Like I said, though, pretty snappy right out of the box. Not too bad. Gonna get the turbocharging too. I'm pretty happy with what they give you for the price.
Last thing for you guys to keep in mind, the phone has a 3,000 milliamp hour battery. So, of course, we just opened up the phone today. We're not really going to have too much time to be able to rate how long that's really giving us. But after using it as my daily driver for a week, and Ryan's going to use it as his as well, we're going to be able to give you some real world examples of how far along we've got. So, please tune in next week, of course, for the full review. We're going to do a head-to-head with the Moto G4 Plus for those of you who have that or are considering buying it, just to see how the two phones compare against each other. And during that full review, we'll get really in-depth into all the specs that we covered today.
All right, guys. So as always, please like, subscribe, and comment. Leave any suggestions you have below. And we'll see you guys in the next one.